Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So what we got going on this video is part 3 of turning short machine tapers. And so in the last video, number 2, we showed how to set the compound really accurately. We showed 3 methods for doing that. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to actually cut a sample part and in a similar material, in a similar diameter, and then we'll cut that sample part and we'll actually measure it and compare it to, we'll measure it on the surface plate, and then we'll compare it to a commercial sample and see how we did. Also I just want to mention that flapping noise you hear in the background. Sorry to attract your attention to it, but you know, somebody's going to ask, or multiple people will ask. We put some anti-bird strip up on the windowsill up there to keep the birds from landing up there and peeping up there. So we replaced chirping with flapping, I guess. So anyway, let's get an apron on. Let's go over to the lathe and let's cut a sample short taper. Okay, so we're going to try the neutral density film on the big indicator here. Okay. Okay, can you see that? All right. About 1 thou right here, so yeah. It's snug. More. I think there's some bumps in that too. Alright, let's go around this and make sure these are all tight. And we need a little bit. That's the beauty of the 4-jaw, is it just, you know, forces you to you know, do good work and indicate all the time. Now look at that, see, blown out. So if I shade it, okay, anyway. Alright, let's get this out of here. Okay, so we've got a good angle set now. Now we're going to get a tool set up. We got to do a little turning on this to, let's see, where's my sample? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the termination diameter here at the large end, which is 625, and for purposes of our setup piece, we're going to turn a termination diameter that's equal to our small end here. So we can do that on our sample. It's a non-issue. Now we won't be able to do that on our actual part, so what we want to do is kind of get the machine calibrated a little bit so that we're working fairly close to where we're going to end up. Okay, so let me get a tool going and we'll do a little facing and turning there. Okay, so what I want to do now is basically kind of set a 0 point on the compound that I can come back to accurately. So I'm going to set that on 0, okay? And then I'm just going to put a witness mark on here with a Sharpie, and I'm just going to mark that at 0, okay? And so we can get back to the same place. That's what I want. That's what I want to be able to do, okay? And then I have the full length of travel that I need to do forward and ideally the full length of travel I need to do backwards, okay? Because sometimes you cut in two directions with the compound when you're trying to get finish. Okay, so let's come back to 0. Right there. Okay, so that's where we're going to start out, 0. Okay, it's may not need it, but it's just good practice. Okay. 67, 5. Okay. 0.62745. All right. So this is the basically the large end target diameter here coming up. There. Yeah, it's a whisker big still. 66, I gotta go look at the book. It's 625 or 624. I gotta go take a look at the book. Okay, so here's the one we're doing. Here's the large end, 624, and the small end, 5605. That's what we're looking for. I'm gonna write that right here on the cross slide. 0.624.5605. Okay, so I need another thou or two off of that, and then we'll turn a little stump on the thing there. Let's work on that little stump a little bit. Just enough to get a micrometer on it, basically. 5605. Okay, I'm actually pretty close. All right, 561. Not the nicest finish there, but yeah, we're just gonna go. All right, so we're still big, 562. All right, and then this one was. So that's also 2,000s big. Okay, about 2,000s big. Go ahead and do this little one first, since we're already there. Okay, so let's check those. All right, yeah, that's 625 right on. All right, I'm gonna leave that. That's a thou over the target, but 55975. Yeah, okay. 56. All right, that's close enough for what we're doing here. Okay, so now we got our target diameters. I know where that shoulder is, so I'm going to put another little line here. That's the end of the taper, just so I just have a little witness mark there. So that should be 1.2. Okay, I'm just going to put a little scratch there. Okay, just enough to see what I'm doing. Okay, so we've kind of established the small end and the large end and the length. Let's do the boson check here. Yep, that looks right. 200, okay. All right, so now we can start working that taper with our precision angle that we set. So, I don't know, not much to talk about. Let's turn some angles. Okay. So we're kind of ready to go here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start right in here. And you can see the difference between the large end and the small end is not much there, okay? So really you can almost take that in one pass, although we don't want to do that because we want to sneak up on it. So, where, oh, they're there. And get my little magnifiers here. Clean the dust off of the lens. So some of you guys might ask what that flapping noise in the background is, and I apologize for attracting it to your attention if you didn't notice it, but that is to scare the birds off that want to land on those windowsills. So it's some iridescent tape that's flapping around up there that keeps those guys from coming around and peeping. Okay, so I'm going to come up right to my starting point there, and I'm going to take a little chunk off of that. I could probably just come up right to my starting point there. And let's, so I'll be feeding with the compound, and that's a little tricky to do to get a good finish because you can't get a smooth crank on it. So we'll do our best there. Okay, here we go. Expect this to fade out before we get to the end, which it did. Then we can come back to our starting point. And this is where your zero comes in handy. We're going to come into the zero, and then we're going to advance a little bit. Now, I'm blessed with a DRO, but you can do this with indicators too. You know what? I'm gonna do something here. Clean that off a little bit. I think what I'll do, so you guys can see what's going on. Gonna do that. Okay, I'm on zero. So I'm bringing the compound back and I'm resetting on zero and I'm coming in. And then I'm advancing in the X direction here a little bit. I know what my number is there, and I'm real close to it right now, actually. Put a little oil on there. Oh yeah, you can see that, huh? take a look at that. So it's probably pretty hard for you guys to see, but our line, when it's spinning, I can see the line that I made back there. We're just a whisker short there, and we're just a whisker big at this end. So we're looking pretty good. Let's see how the finish is. Okay, well, not super happy with the finish, but all right. So let's go back to 0. You know, this is just cold rolled, so sometimes it's difficult to get a. All right, we're going to come up to our 200 or our 200. Oops, 200 number. Okay, so I don't know. This is probably our last pass. What do we want to do there? I can try. So one thing you can do is you can cut on the backstroke. Let's try that, okay? And you know, this side of the insert's generally untouched unless you're doing a ton of facing with it, right? Which we haven't done. So we'll turn, or actually I'll start at this end and I'll advance in, and then I'll come back down to that point. Let's see, do I want to do that? Nah, let's go forward, because my position is set going forward, so that's what I want to do. Okay. Feed this one pretty slow. I probably should have switched to a high-speed tool just to try to get a better finish on it here, but well, I'm not real happy with that finish, but it's pretty smooth. It just doesn't look good. It looks kind of crappy there. Well, what do we do there? It's hard to calibrate another tool on it. Well, okay. So from here, we'd probably do a little bit of polishing, and what you don't want to do is destroy the geometry. We don't really have a female to check on it, but that's what you would want to do at this point, is start checking the female on it and bluing it a little bit to see how it mates with the female. Okay, so let's go to another shot here. All right, so that finish is bugging me, so we're gonna fix that. So one thing with tapers, you know, if you're not locked into an axial position, which we're not in this case, is we can move them that way. You know, so you get it. That's a really crappy arrow, Tom. It's supposed to be an arrow, guys. There we go, that looks better. You can move them that way, right? And keep recutting them. Although we don't want to push it too far that way, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up, I got a honed high-speed tool in here. We're gonna pick up that diameter there, and then we're gonna come up that slope again and take just a little fuzz cut off of that, okay? Theory anyway. So we know this part's cylindrical here up to about there. Alright, so sneak up on it there. I'm going for a real minimal pickup. I'm almost good. Okay, there it is. So you see that little shiny spot right there? So I just touched the bluing off. Okay. That's where that tool's touching. I'm going to come up until it just starts to cut a little bit. Right about there. Okay. And that is that intersection. Let's get a little lube on there, and now we're gonna feed our compound again. You know what? I gotta get this out of here. I put this indicator on here. Okay. Good thing I cut it, because there's some spots that have little grooves in it that aren't cleaning up. It's a heck of a lot better. So I'm gonna dial in 1/1000th and then come back down. So I'm gonna cut on the backstroke this time. Okay. Oh yeah. That's nice and smooth now. So you saw what I did is I went past the end of the taper up at this end, and I went in 1,000, then I came back down. So we need to face that off to get our bottom diameter, since we're not confident anymore that our bottom diameter is perfect. So if our angle's set good, we should be able to pick up on this line and come back and face off at 1 inch, and we'll be pretty close. And but this is a sample part, so maybe we don't care too much about it for purposes of demonstration. So we'll be cutting the real one here pretty soon. And what else do we want to do on this? Maybe I'll put some little angles on there just to break some edges. See, can I get up in there? I don't think so. Yeah, I need my smaller tool up in there. Okay. All right, well, I'm not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so we're over here on the surface plate, and just for fun, what we're going to do is we're going to check our piece that we just turned here. I didn't cut the end off, just so you guys are aware of that. So let's put our pin under here. Let's see, can you see all that? Let me get it a good spot here. Sure, why not, right? Okay. All right, then we got indicator. You know what? Let's back up here. A little bit like that. How's that? Okay, I think that'll work. Let me see that. Let's see. See what I go through, you guys? See what I go through to get a good shot here? I hope you appreciate that. All right, well, I'm hoping you can see this. Kind of looks like you can. Yeah, looks pretty good. I'll try to get the indicator needle to... Okay, so there, you can see the indicator needle, right? Okay. It's coming up right there. Okay. So then what we do is we sweep across it this way here, and we look for the high point. And I'm seeing 5. So it's just topping out at 8 on the 8 line. Okay. And I'm just using that as a reference so I don't have to rotate the dial. Okay. Then what we do is come over at this end of the taper here. Okay. And let's get on it straight there. Okay. Yeah. Check it again. All right, so it looks like a few tenths there. Now we're sitting on a, let me rotate it a little bit. Let's try a different position there. This is just the stock surface there. You know what? I can't read the damn gauge now. So there's a little rough spot there. 7.5. 7.5. Okay. So this cylindrical part here is not real smooth, so depending on where we rotate that. So just for fun, let's take this one out. Set that aside, and I think I got it in my pocket. Let's put our commercial one in there. Okay. Let's make sure we're okay there. And then now this is a nice ground surface. Should be pretty happy there. I'm going to try to land on that. I'm going to try to land on the 10 there. Right about like that. All right, a little less. All right, then we come across here. little bit of variation, a couple of tenths maybe. 3/10. What is that? I don't know, it's pretty damn close when I go slow. Yeah. 3/10 maybe, something like that, looking at this dial. All right. So, what does that mean? That means, well, I would test it on another sine bar if I really cared about it. This one I haven't used enough to know how it rates with my good ones. So let's try rotating this a little bit. Make sure that's seated properly. You know what? I'm taking the stinking thing off here. It's bugging me now because I can't read the dang thing. I got to read it. There. Get set on 0. Okay, a little under. Yeah, I'm going to call 3/10 along that length. Okay. Let's put this back on. Upside down? Is that better or worse? Oh, that's not too bad, actually. Well, you guys aren't at a very good angle to read it anyway, so 0. Yeah, 3/10. That's what I'm saying. Okay, let's go. Well, anyway, that's enough measuring. So anyway, you get the idea. Now I think we're ready to cut the real McCoy. All right, so I kind of set it up again and broke out the tenths indicator here to get a better reading on it. So it's do it a couple times here. So that's pretty much 0. All right, then we'll do this far end here. All right, and that's 2/10. Yep, check our 0. Yeah, okay. So this is the commercial ground arbor. So we're showing, and this is my non-V groove sine bar, the one I use to set the angle on the machine. So it's actually looks like it's agreeing fairly closely with the V groove one. And you can see I just put a couple of parallel clamps on here to kind of keep it centered up. Let's. I'm going to get the sample back over here, or the one we cut, and I'll put it on. Can I get it on this one? We'll sweep it with the tenths indicator on the other sine bar. Okay, so we're back in the V groove one here, and then we'll come across. Oh, what do we have? +4. +4, +5. A little more than 5. Okay, so variable reading here. 7, yeah, 7. So, like I said, it's roughly 3/10 from what I can see. Although this cylindrical surface is crud, so it's I can kind of get variable readings depending on where I rotate this. So that's affecting this measurement. Okay, so we indicated the average rotational axis, and we might not be sitting on those points in the V groove. So anyway, that just affects the measurement a little bit. So okay, let's go cut the real one.